All right, here we go.
Thing.
Yep.
All right, 2, 1.
Now here comes your flare because we know we made our spot. Go half cyclic. All right, come on around when you're ready.
All right.
Warsaw traffic, helicopter 181 Mike Bravo, right base turning final, 9er, Warsaw.
All right, so I'll tell you when to enter. Yep, pull back on your cyclic just a little bit.
5 to the northwest. Going to the left downwind, runway 4, Marion.
Yeah, remember as you turn, there's a tendency to either push the cyclic forward or you also lose some of that lift component in a turn. So we were descending a little bit as you were turning. All right, we're going to go to the intersection, but we're going to enter late.
Okay.
Because all of a sudden we had the engine failure, and the only spot that we had is the one that we see in front of us.
Traffic, Skyhawk, 63.
Okay, so what's going to happen as soon as we down right half, but bring that speed way back.
Okay.
Here we go, in 3, 2, 1, down right half. We realize we're going to overshoot, or it's right below us, so now just keep bringing that cyclic into you. Keep bringing it into you. There you go. Yep, just kind of hold it right there.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Now, if you want, you can push forward just a little bit because our spot is pretty much right below us. There you go, looking good. Now, we want a little bit of forward airspeed here in a second. Okay, so let's start pushing forward just a little bit, build a little airspeed. There we go. Now, here comes street top level. Start your flare. There you go. So there's not much of a flare when you don't have a lot of airspeed. All right, give me a pedal turn, just see where we're at. Yeah, so you're within that 100 feet. So I just think it's much easier to play with airspeed. So let's go around and we'll do it again.
Okay.
And then we'll go out and we'll fly for a few minutes and we'll throw some autos at you. How'd that feel? A little different feeling.
A little different.
Yeah.
It almost felt like the zero speed, like really slowing it down. All right, 1, 2.
Yep, on the go when you're ready.
Good.
Yeah, if you can get out of the uncomfortable feeling, kinda, it's a good, you can bring that airspeed back because you're always, through your training, it's always 60, 60 or 70 or whatever you use. Don't get any slower. I've actually had guys come here and they say, oh, my instructor won't let you get below 69. Well, I understand that, but know that you can,
Right. Final Fulfil, taxiway 09, dealing left traffic, staying north of 09 at all times, Warsaw.
Warsaw traffic, copter 1 Mike Bravo, on the go, 9er, right traffic.
This time we'll enter a little sooner. We'll bring the airspeed back, and then we'll realize, okay, we're not going to overshoot. Now we can push it. Now we can push it forward and get our airspeed back sooner.
For runway 4, Marion traffic. Marion 6, Skyhawk 62689 is 3 miles northwest. Will be number 2 following that Cessna on the downwind for runway 4.
All right, Warren car lines are off. Temps fresh looks good. Wheels are matched up. We got plenty of fuel still. Good, landing lights on. Alright, come on around.
Right.
Marion traffic, Skyhawk 62689 left downwind, runway 4, Marion. Big Sky 2630 Mike, final 4, Marion.
Warsaw traffic, copter 1 Mike Bravo, right base turning final, 9er, Warsaw.
Alright, we're going to the same spot.
All right.
Alright, let's enter in 3, 2, 1. Down right out. Okay, now go ahead and bring that speed back. Slowly keep bringing it back. May have to check collective. Keep on bringing it back. There you go, good catch. Okay, just kind of hold there at 50 maybe. We'll figure out if we're going to make it or not. Okay. Good, yeah, it's looking good at 40. There you go. Now, if you want, we can push forward below airspeed. That's fine. That rotor RPM is going to come back in our flare.
Don't mess with the collective at all right here.
Yeah. Go half cyclic. A little more aggressive. Throttle's coming in. Stay on those pedals. There you go.
All traffic helicopter November 3466.
There you go, man. There's your spot.
Away 09 Warsaw.
Not too bad,
Right
huh?
here, yeah.
All right. So you see, it's kind of easier, right? There's not a whole lot to it. As long as you're looking at rotor RPM, you can, like we'll demonstrate it tomorrow, but you can get that speed slow. You just need a little bit of forwardness at the bottom. You need some airspeed at the bottom. Now, there are videos out there that talk about no flare autos. I've never really tried one. I have been slow, like I've been in the 30 range and done somewhat of a flare and landed. So, I haven't really messed with them, so I don't really show them. So, let's go on the go, and let's depart to the south, let's say. Yeah, let's go south.
Go south?
Yep.
All right. 1, 2.
Warsaw traffic, helicopter 181, Mike Bravo, on the go, Niner. We're going to depart to the south, Warsaw.
All right, so we know the winds are at the airport are coming out of the east, right?
All right.
How good are AWASs good for? Distance-wise from the airport, what do they say?
Ooh, I want to say 4, but I'm not.
It's about 5 miles.
5 miles, okay.
Yeah, it's about 5 miles. What are some indications that you could use if you're away from an airport and you're trying to figure out where the wind's coming from?
Flags would be a good one. Smoke, if there's any smoke.
Yep.
Water, if with the ruffles on the water, the waves.
Yep.
Treetops, but I found like it's really got to be blowing for like the treetops to get a whole lot going.
Yeah, so we got corn, we got flags, we got smoke, we got water. Yeah, all those are good to kind of figure out what the surface wind is. All right, just climb to, 1,500, 1,800, somewhere in there, and just put me on a 180 heading here. All right, so what's going to happen is I'm going to say engine failure or auto, and then we're going to count down 3, 2, 1. So it's not really a surprise, but yet it is because you don't know when it's coming.
Okay.
And you just need to enter an auto, and whether you need to turn into the wind or not, or if maybe you need to at the last minute turn because you see an obstacle in the way, whatever. I don't know. But now this is just kind of like, hey, you and I are just out here having some fun, just gonna go, we're cross country in it, we're talking shit, we're talking about what we did last night, and all of a sudden we just, something happens,
Okay.
Auto, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Yep. Airspeed. Airspeed. Where are we going? There you go. All right, someone bring the throttle back in.
All right.
All right, let's fly out of it. So you can see how it kind of, it's different when you don't, right. So I was thinking, here we had a huge open field, but you kept your airspeed up. That would have been a good one to either bring our airspeed back a little bit, made a little bit of turn to the right because you had that whole field there.
Okay.
So these are all things that, the engine most of the time is just not going to completely quit, right? But you're going to have indications, so you're kind of already thinking about it. You might hear it missing or misfiring. You might see cylinder head temp getting really hot or something. You might just be expecting it, right? So, but when you're not planning it, it's a different feeling, isn't it? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's head south. Let's make a right turn. All right, we're gonna have an engine failure. 3, 2, 1. Okay, where are we going?
Go to the right here.
The right or left?
To the left. Sorry.
Okay. Bring that airspeed back a little bit. There you go.
Yep,
Good. And now here's the other issue. Now you guys start thinking about, okay, looking for wires, looking for irrigation, looking for shit in the fields. There we go, looking good. Now just keep that scan going.
We're safe.
Yep, we're taking it. Taking it. We're not going to touch down. So there's treetop level. Start your flare. Flare more. Let her settle. Throttle's coming back in. Okay, now look how high we are, though.
Yeah.
So I know. Granted, the closer we get, we got all them damn corn stalks that are going to blow up. But those are just things. This is kind of your real life scenario. Go ahead and start pulling power if you want, and we can take off. Looking for wires. I got wires over there.
Yeah.
But just watch our power. Looking good. All right. I don't see anything. That's good. Max performance here. Looking good. Nice.
More wires there.
Yep. And we're into the winds. We're looking good. So this is your real world. This is what's going to happen, right? This isn't fast. We're not in the training environment where, you know, we're going to that runway. That's what I'm talking about the training scar. You know, there is no runway out here. There is no, you know, whatever.
So, like, in real world, like, and you have a lot of, you have a big field there, like, get that airspeed slow down, just so. Yeah,
I mean, well, remember, we're just looking for 60 now, so on those last two, it was almost like we were pushing forward, like you wanted to build that, extend the glide, when really,
I didn't need to.
Yeah, you didn't need to. We just wanted to, you know, we were pretty much over an open field, so.
Slow the hell down.
Yeah, exactly. Let's head that way. And you know, right now we're not looking for a certain altitude, right? We're in cruise airspeed. We're at 1500. You know, we've been practicing 1800 because we've been playing with the glide. But in real world, I mean, I don't cruise at 1800 a whole lot.
Right.
You know, it could happen at any point. You know. And this also makes you self-aware of now, because I can see you looking around, looking for like there's a tower. You know, there's some silos. It's kind of open your eyes a little bit, like if I have that inch failure right now, where am I going? You know.
And my wind's coming off.
Yeah, that's another thing. You got to be aware of where that wind is, right?
Going.
Yeah, we'll just head that way. A nice day to fly for sure.
Sure is.
Man. Can't beat this shit. Engine failure, 3, 2, 1.
Alright. Slow down, we're gonna.
Get ready to check. Yep. Where are you going? There you go. Yep. Just keep on coming around. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking. Okay, just hold. Okay, straighten her out. A little bit of a flare. A little bit more of a flare. All coming together. There you go, man. That's what it's all about. Head on a swivel. Head on a swivel, looking for irrigation, looking for wires coming across.
And
all right,
walk away from it.
Yep. So you can see we can pull a little bit of power here, and we can kind of go around those trees. There you go. And then you can just start your forward. Get into ETL there. Come around that tree if you have to.
Okay.
That's the other thing, you're not thinking about it, right? You're not constantly thinking about the engine quitting. But it needs to be in the back of your mind, right?
Yeah.
It's, you know, start talking about whatever, or start thinking about what you're going to do tonight or whatever, and then all of a sudden that engine decides it wants to go.
Traffic, helicopter 6 Victor Hotel is on final runway 9, simulated engine failure, Warsaw.
It seemed like getting that aft cyclic, getting everything back under control.
Yeah.
To give, I see that tower there to the right.
Yep, got it. Yeah, and that's another thing why they talk about, see, here we are at 500 AGL. Just think if we had one right now, you know, I mean, is it fine to fly at 500? I don't know. That's a decision that you got to make.
Right.
You know, but it gives you a lot less time to deal with something, right? And we'll just kind of head that way, and we'll kind of make our way back to the...
Mike, turning left base, runway 04, Marion traffic.
So like here at 500, we just go straight in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because the wind's coming there. Now, if we had a tailwind, you know, start making that turn. And again, in real world, if like on that last one we did, we were still kind of turning when we were starting that flare. That's real world. And the check ride, that they don't want to see that. They want, you know, you're going to a runway. They want to see you straighten out before you start that flare.
Understood. Okay.
All right, head north.
But no, that makes you think, because we had the trees right there, so you know, gotta turn a little bit. So
yeah, and if you know, we want to be into the wind, but is that practical at times? No, because there might be a group of trees there. So let's. I mean, I'd much rather take a little crosswind than run into the trees, right?
Right.
So.
Marion traffic, Skyhawk 2630, Mike, turning final runway 4, Marion traffic.
And we'll just kind of hold this heading.
Skywagon turning short final runway 25 in the grass, full stop quarter.
So do you practice autos like in the boss's machine?
I do it in the simulator. It's kind of funny though, because
traffic helicopter,
being a 2-engine aircraft, we don't even I can't remember, did I ask to do one or did he say it? But I think it was when I worked EMS for the 2 engine. I don't even think we practiced them because they're like, you either had a major issue or you had fuel contamination.
Okay.
So, but I think the instructor on my last, I just went to my recurrent a couple months ago, and I think he actually said, let's do an auto. I said, okay. Yeah, we'll just go north. You can see the airport out there.
Okay.
We'll just go kind of north
Okay.
or northwest here, and we'll come around to the north and stay out of their way.
Okay.
And we'll
Go fly around the water.
we'll head to the hangar or whatever.
Rotor traffic,
Yeah.
17, 45 left downwind, 25 close.
Finish up with some hover autos.
Yeah, we'll do a couple hover
I
autos
like
on the
to
taxiway.
perfect that a little better. Cause yeah, like here we got the damn power lines.
Yep. It's just,
So we want to stay the.
yeah, we don't want to turn into those, right?
Oh, God, no.
Auto, 3, 2, 1.
Go to
Collective all the way down. Get that collective all the way down. Where's our wind?
slow down to the right.
Yep, there you go. Get that turn going. Slow, get our airspeed down.
Pitch
There you go.
pull.
Good check. Good.
No.
Yep, so this is where I would, you got wires right there, so I would start really, there you go.
Left downwind runway 11.
At 90.
There you go. Now turn.
Right in.
There you go. Here comes treetop level. Throttle's coming
Flare.
in. Go aft side.
Okay, shoot.
Yeah, you're keeping that speed up, and that's causing you a little bit. Like I would have put down in that field way back there, but
Okay.
you know, it is what it is, and we wouldn't have to mess with the wires and all that. Stay into the wind, and we'll just get off that way. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't see anything coming across, so just normal kind of push her over and build the ETO. Yeah, so I would have messed with it to where I would have been back there in that field. But
Okay.
you know, that's pilot. You're in command
Well,
there, so that's
yeah.
your decision.
But
we wouldn't have had to mess with the wires and all that.
Yeah.
Exactly, we wouldn't have cross.
Good point.
I was about ready to pull us out of it, but I was like, we'll make that. We can get over those. We have
Okay.
plenty of space.
No, just it.
But you kept your speed. Like I looked down and we were hitting 85, and then I said, hey, where's the wind? And you're like, oh yeah. And then we started our turn and we were still at 85, and that's when we started seeing the wires and all that. All right, come on around to the
slow
left.
down way down.
Yeah, you're just keeping your speed up, which I guess isn't too much of an issue.
Well, I like.
But if you're going, let's say you're going into a football field, that's one thing. But if you got to put it down in a parking lot, say you had to put it down in Meyer parking lot, do you want all that speed?
Right, no, hell
You know,
no.
you got cars to deal with, you got light poles in the middle of the parking lot. You know, you got cars probably driving.
Right.
You don't want all that speed. You want to get rid of that speed as fast as you can.
Slow it down.
So yeah, exactly.
All right. No, that and it feels better slower.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
things happen slower, right?
Right.
So yes,
Yeah.
exactly right.
So I don't. Yeah. No.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to head back, and we're going to stay north of the runways, and we'll come in from the west and make the approach in.
5 miles to the west.
All right.
North, correct. So, inbound for left downwind runway 11.
All right, go ahead and head west.
Warsaw traffic.
Kind of see that road right there in front of us? Yeah, just kind of pick that
Hotel
up.
is on final runway 9, Warsaw.
We'll stay north at Niner for you.
So what we'll do is we'll just come in from the west and do an approach to his hangar.
Okay.
So we'll plan on doing.
Go on like a downwind right here.
Yeah,
Left
pretty much.
downwind?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
All right.
Marion traffic, Skyhawk 2630, Mike, turning left base, runway 4, Marion traffic.
Quarter traffic, Skywagon is base runway 25 in the grass, full stop quarter.
Yeah, because
Old County traffic, Cherokee.
doing this like you were talking about, like downtown or something. Oh my gosh, like what are you gonna?
Yeah. I mean, can you only imagine if the only thing you had was a small little parking lot or on top of a parking garage or, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yep, well, so we'll go around the commercial buildings there and come in from the way you can see. You see where there's like grass in between the.
Yeah.
We'll come in and make that approach, and we'll hit the north building.
So
you kind of angle that way if you like. We just don't want to get any lower because we're going to go over that stuff.
Turning left final, runway 4.
Warsaw traffic, helicopter 181 Mike Bravo is just north of the airport. We'll be going to the north hangar as Warsaw.
All right, let's, he's mowing over there, so let's just go somewhere right here where he's, I don't know, just go up here to this grass.
Okay.
Actually, let's do it right here on tech.
On the top?
Yeah, let's, wind's coming from our, all right, face north. Bring me to a 3-foot hover, 3 to 5 feet.
3271, turning final,
3 to 5 foot hover, come right a little bit, line us up with the runway, or the taxiway. Nose.
Nose.
Nose, yep,
Yeah,
there you go.
I got you.
All right, give me a hover auto when you're ready. Count me down.
Okay.
Nice
Slowly
and simple.
roll off, right pedal, pause for a second, and then pull that.
We're only about a foot off the ground, so it may not pause very long, but there you go.
About there. All right.
Just nice and smooth, remember?
All right.
That's good. I'll take that. You're chopping it, though. There's no reason that you're just, I mean, I can feel you. It's just, lower collective. There you go. I can feel it in my, when you do it, you're just
chopping it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now what I want you to do is give me a nice hover taxi right down the black line there. Okay, keep that nose straight.
Okay.
Okay, now you're going to have an engine failure, right? So instead of trying to stop and come to a hover, you're just going to continue to push forward and slide it on. All right, I got the throttle. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Stay on your pedals. Just keep pushing forward. Here you go. There you go. So there, don't try to stop it and do a hover auto. Just if you lose the engine, just keep pushing forward, and just those skids can take that hit as long as you're going forward. You can't take left or right or rear or backward, but you can take forward, right?
Okay.
All right, so one more. So bring it up when you're ready. All right, now on this one, bring us up to about 5-foot hover. On this one, we're a little bit higher than normal, right? Line us up with the taxiway. So what I would tell people, if you're higher than normal and you lose the engine, push the cyclic forward and have a little bit of a run on. You can try to come straight down, but you got to time it just right so you don't split the skids, right? If you could come down and try to time it and be all good, but again, it's easier on the skids if you just have a little bit of run on it, because again, the skids can take it, right? So I'm on with you. What we're going to do is just kind of hold right here. I'm going to count us down. I'm going to roll the throttle down, and as we enter the auto, I want you to just push cyclic forward, and it's just going to become a run on.
And not even really pull collective.
Correct. Just, well, you will to cushion us a little bit.
Okay.
All right, so yes, you are going to pull collective, but what I'm trying to show is here is you could come straight down, but you got to, most people pull collective too soon or too late, and you're going to hit hard. On this, the forward movement, the skids are taking is absorbing some of that hit.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So just nice and easy, just hold right here, and what we're going to do is when I roll off, we're just going to push cyclic forward a little bit. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. I just push forward, stay on it, push forward. As you're pushing forward, raise collective. There you go. It feels rough, it does, but the skids can take it. What I'm getting at is, if sometime when you're with somebody else or with another instructor or whatever, if say we're at a 10-foot and you decide to come straight down, I guarantee most will either pull too soon and then run out of collective to cushion the landing, or they will pull too late, which means you're going to smack. So in order to avoid that, why not just have a little bit of forward movement, and now the skids can take it, so now that forward movement is absorbing some of that impact as you're raising collective.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Take us back to the hangar.
Okay. And I just got to be more on the pedals to keep the damn nose.
That's all it is, yeah.
Okay.
And really, again, is the engine going to fail, just completely shut off? Probably not, unless the transmission completely seizes or whatever. So you're going to hear some sputtering, you're going to hear whatever, you might hear some misfiring, you might hear whatever, and you're thinking, something's wrong, let's set this down. So more than likely, you're going to be setting it down before you actually have to do a hover auto, right? But who knows, maybe you turn the tail and the tail rotor hits something, now you lost your tail rotor, so you're spinning to the right. And how do you stop that?
That would roll off throttle.
Roll off throttle, and then becomes a hover auto, right? All right.
All right.
Pull us up and take us to the hangar. And we're going to park right in front of the hangar because we're going to put it away.
Okay.
I don't remember. Who did your private? Did I sign you off on your private?
No, I did my private back in North Carolina.
Okay. Have you ever seen if you lost your tail rotor and had to roll off the throttle to stop the spin? Have you ever seen that?
No, I've never been in about. You want to do that?
Yeah, pick us up.
All right. Yeah, I like to. Yeah, because I'm always. I don't want to say like nerd, but I get like worried about like, oh shit, if this happened.
Right.
Like thinking about that all the damn time.
Yeah, part of this is seeing some things. So go ahead and pick us up when you're ready. So if you got in, I'll just talk a little bit while you're picking up.
All right.
If you got into an LTE situation, the nose is going to start coming to the right, and it's going to be gradual, and then it's going to get faster. All right? It's going to start slowly. Just go ahead and put us in the intersection right here. It's going to start slowly, and then if you don't fix it, it's going to get worse. Okay? So with that, you can either come right out here if you want. With that, you can either fly out of it or get on your pedal and try to stop it, or yeah, left pedal should stop it. Go ahead and point us that way for a second. But if you have a tail rotor failure, like let's say the tail rotor transmission seizes or whatever, the spin is going to be immediate to the right, and it's going to be violent. All right? So what we're going to do here is I'm going to come on with you because we're going to do it together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put us into a right spin, and then we're going to roll off throttle, and then it becomes a hover auto. So in an LTE situation, the spin's going to start like this, and it's just going to get faster and faster and faster.
And you can't stop it with the pedal.
Well, correct. Your first input would be like, hey, full left pedal, right? And it's going to stop, right? Now, if you had a tail rotor failure, it's going to be a violent spin to the right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll off 3, 2, 1. See how it stopped that spin, and now it's hover auto.
I gotcha. Okay. Okay.
So the important thing here is roll off throttle first before you try to put it down. Because if you're spinning and then you lower collective to try to, because you panic or whatever, it's just going to continue to spin on the ground. You got to get rid of that torque first.
And if it like you spinning round and round and round.
Oh yeah, I've been in
like. Does it stop pretty quickly when you roll off?
I think it varies on aircraft. Like this one, it stops pretty good. Like the R-22, it stops pretty soon. The more inertia in the blades, I think it doesn't stop as fast.
Okay. So
this one stops pretty decent. The one where I had a mechanical failure and we were in a right spin when I rolled off, it stopped it somewhat, but we were not completely stopped before we hit the ground. We didn't roll it, thank God, but
it takes out that violent.
Correct. It definitely slows you down. And this, you can see it. I mean, we weren't spinning that fast, so when I rolled off, it pretty much stopped it.
Stopped. Yeah.
All right, roll us up, and we'll just kind of. The important thing though is if you lose that tail rotor in a hover and you're spinning to the right, you got to stop the spin first.
Got to stop the spin before.
Correct. I have had people tell me, "Oh, just lower the clutch." No, you have to. No, got to stop the spin first.
When you feel the pressure to fly, but know the right decision is to stay on the ground, hit the hogs, no-go, and live to fly another day. Helicopterground.com